DeMarco J from iPower 2, a live look at Coney Island on the Q train in Brooklyn. Coming up next on iPower 2 this moment on this Saturday, we'll take you to the National Action Network Convention 2018, the annual event down at Times Square in Manhattan. Plus, we're going to hear from those who are starting or already having their own black-owned businesses. We'll have that all coming up on iPower 2 this moment. See you in 60 seconds.
iPower 1 and iPower Channel 2 is now available on your computer or on your phone. Anywhere you go, log on now to youtube.com. Keyword iPower 1 Nation. Watch all the exclusive interviews and all the shows and news you missed on iPower Channel 2. Watch now at any time, 24/7. iPower 2, part of the tri-state area. Only on our iPower Media Connection. iPower 1.
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
From the Hard Planet Media Studios in New York, this is iPower 2 This Moment.
A live look at Times Square in New York City. Today is Saturday, April 21st, 2018. Welcome to iPower 2 This Moment. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm DeMarco J. Most people know me from the online radio show, which is the iPower Evening Show. Here's some video footage from earlier as Reverend Sharpton greeting members and supporters at the annual National Action Network Convention. I'm hearing that Reverend Al will be speaking live during the youth conference in just a bit. We'll take you live as soon as it happens. Meanwhile, this is my fourth year coming to the annual event for African Americans and people of color coming from all over the country, right here in NYC at the NAN convention to help find solutions to a major problem that's been an epidemic around New York City and across the country, dealing with civil rights, injustice, discrimination, and racism nationwide. For people who don't know about the NAN convention, that's where black people, African Americans, and people of color, from politicians to civil rights leaders to community activists, motivated speakers, Black Lives Matter, and the LGBT coming together, sharing ideas, having solutions, and networking with other people who want to make a difference for Black America. Such as this business lady who I spoke to earlier, pushing her Black-owned business to African Americans at the convention.
I'm here to talk to and see what we're supposed to do as Black people in this world. We have to come together as Black people because we don't look out for each other and nobody gonna look out for you or look out for me. But I have a business called Intel Travel, and we travel the world to see the beauty that God had given us in the world. And not only will we travel the world, but to be able to reach out to the people, let the people know that, listen, you could go somewhere, and yes, you could spend money, but it's nothing like being together with your own and having a good time, and lifting up your own people and travel this world and see all the beauty that God has given us in the world.
So much positive vibes at this year's convention. African Americans like this young lady right here as a superhero to young children and a positive role model.
The Black Panther movie, and just being proud of my heritage, everything that has my African traits, my afro, my color, my style, and my class. Freedom and justice for everyone. That's what the National Action Network wants, and they inspire me. Reverend Al Sharpton inspires me. We're the original, and we are the best. And we are superheroes because we're just a loving people. They did a study on little black girls and years ago, but they had preferred white dolls to black dolls. And it's because that's what all the advertisement was. So now there's changes. Media magazines, technology is making it so that everyone becomes more knowledgeable. So we're just going to keep trying to go on a positive path. I mean, love amongst everyone is fine, but it should be justice and equality for all. I work with children, and I work with children at birthday parties and events, and I inspire them. I'm a fitness instructor, and I help young people to learn how to coordinate their body better, and how to be proud, and how to be a team player. I also teach adults physical fitness. I work for 24-hour fitness center. I'm a fitness instructor. And mostly, I'm proud of being a member of the National Action Network with Reverend Sharpton.
Leader and founder of the National Action Network, Reverend Sharpton, is now speaking live at the podium. Let's now join him live.
What we need to do is also have her bring a book, because she needs to sell books. I've been on book tours, and you got to be focused, because they'll say you have no support if you don't sell books. It's not about her making money. This is about getting her truth out there and about being able to show. She's on the bestseller list. They cannot marginalize her. But as I read her story, some of which I hope she shares today, her whole life leads to her activism. And it resonated with me because my life experiences is what made me an activist. Had nothing to do with, I was reading Franz Fanon, had something to do with my life. I was born in a middle class family on my way to be a bourgeois Negro. In the Pentecostal church on my way to be T.D. Jakes. And my father, you knew me then, and my father abandoned us. Y'all know my story. Had a child with my sister and all that. And we ended up, my mother and I and my younger sister, back in the hood that I had never grew up in. And I couldn't understand why when they picked up the garbage, because where I had lived, with my father, they picked it up every day. And why you go to the emergency room and it took 12 hours for them to see you, and that wasn't what I was used to. And that started an anger in me based on zip code, that when they started rallying at Pen Powell and them, I would go. I'm 11, 12 years old. And my mother got nervous. She was a Pentecostal woman and said, well, at least I want to stay in the church. My mother was a stomped down Pentecostal, you know, rolled in the sheep, speaking other tongues, all that. Don't laugh at my mother. That really don't laugh. And she took me to the preachers, Reverend Jesse Jackson, Reverend Jones, and that's how I became the director of Reverend. Her life experience, that's why I want y'all to read this book, is a chart, generation or so later, that led her to her activism and her passion. The reason I want you to read is not only to know Patrice's story, but all these young people have a story that a lot of us don't ever stop and listen to. That they have to deal with issues of family and sexuality and bias that a lot of you ignore. And a lot of us don't ever stop and try and understand. You can't love black folk if you don't even like them. And if you have a real love, you understand what may not be your experience, but you understand that pain because you got some pain that they don't understand. You may not understand why they do what they do. Your mama didn't understand you. You were the next generation. And your kids don't understand why you walk around in 2018 with bell-bottom pants. They don't understand. You still think you in style. So, in many ways, that is why we wanted to have this conversation. And I'm very, very happy that she agreed to come and share with us. Now, there'll be some don't understand why we did it, and she will get flack from some that relate to her. But we've got to be strong enough to help our folk understand in our various silos that we need to relate to each other without having to be each other. She's not gonna walk out of here and remember National Action Network. She's not gonna be talking about Al Sharpton is the greatest, even though we know I am. She's gonna represent what she always represents and believe in a people's movement. We gonna believe in what we believe, but we gonna relate, and where we can intersect, we will. And where we cannot, we gonna respectfully say, you got your lane, I got mine. But we're not gonna let them play us against each other. And we need to build a relationship, whereas if something happens like Sacramento, when we were in Sacramento 3 weeks ago, Family Extra did usually grandma's been here for this convention. And the Black Lives Matter chapter was out blocking traffic. As soon as I got there, do you agree with them blocking traffic? I agreed the cops shouldn't have shot him. Some of us gonna block traffic, some of us gonna march, some of us gonna do whatever. The issue is the police, not how we react to the police. Young brother, some of y'all saw it, got up during the funeral when the head of the ACP was speaking and said what he had to say. And all of the preachers, oh my God, here goes Savante again. I said, he's grieving, his brother just got killed. How do you tell, where is the book of protocol on how to grieve? And he came over and hugged me, and he kept his arm around me the whole sermon. I've never preached in all my years with somebody hanging on my neck. But I wanted to comfort. How you gonna go out and preach for a family and comfort them and not comfort them? If he needed to hold on to me for comfort, then hold on. Otherwise, I should have kept my behind and And they said, well, he got mental health issues. I said, yeah, he does. It's called police-itis. He was killed with his brother 5 feet from where his grandma was sleeping. What's the normal reaction to that? There is no normal reaction. And I think that we've got to, especially y'all that claim y'all gonna save folks' soul and heal the world. How do you do that without understanding? Jesus didn't operate like that. Jesus met a woman at the well. They said that she committed adultery. She was supposed to, according to the law of Moses, be stoned to death. Jesus said, the one of you without sin, cast the first stone. But then y'all missed this part of scripture. You ain't gotta hear this part, Patrice. I'm not trying to convert you. He stopped, they said, and took a stick and wrote on the ground. Now, y'all know what he was writing? He probably was writing all their girlfriends' names on it. Because even that was sexist. You're going to stone the woman. But you're not going to say nothing to the men that she was going to live by herself. We've got to stop this. You got... In today's New York Times front page, where the federal prosecutors said they ought to indict the cop, and Sessions and them won't sign the indictment on Eric Garner. They are adamant, vociferous in how they operate. So we don't have the luxury of not understanding and supporting each other. You have families that don't get along, but they're still family. You have family dinners, and you and I know cousins we hope we don't get in arguments with. That we ain't spoken to relatives for a long time, but they still your relatives. And if somebody attacks the family, then family stands up. I got a young brother, a half brother, just got in trouble. They call my half brother. He's my brother. They know half. He got in trouble. I'm in trouble. They want to know, you gonna stand for your brother? Yeah. Do you think he did it? I don't know, but he's my brother. I do not know all of what, and Black Lives Matter now has began organizing and structuring themselves. I don't know all of what they intend to do, but I know they're not terrorists. And I know that they are fighting for our people. And I know that they're welcome at National Action Network. And I know we're going to buy some of these books and learn our journey. And know that, like I was saying, if we are like in Sacramento, let me show you the kind of person they are. She doesn't know this. We haven't talked since I saw her at the taping. Well, we got to Sacramento and I didn't criticize the stopping of the cars, and they didn't criticize our march and all. And I ran into a sister, I met a sister, I don't know if James is here, was traveling with me. And I said to her, I said, let me say something to you. I will never speak against you. She says, Patrice said the word, we understand you, cool. And I said, really? I was shocked. I said, y'all more organized than I know. I said, now I get these hard-hitting preachers to understand that. Because that is what we need to understand. I told Patrice that day at Schaumburg, that's where we did it. Schaumburg, for you that are around the country, is a local Black cultural library in Harlem. And I told her that day, we have a lot of young people in NAN that are big fans of theirs. Just because somebody in a different lane don't mean they don't admire and respect it. Some of us, I like Stokely. You know, they were fighting with Jesse. I thought Stokely and them was saying stuff, I believe them. You've been in the push. And so it ain't that much that we need to deal with, but it's major if we don't deal with it. Am I right? And what kind of civil rights group would you be that you can welcome politicians, one run president, but can't welcome your daughter, your sister, that's fighting for liberation maybe a different way? Her being here is more important to me than all of the presidential candidates that was here yesterday. Because we gotta fight together. If something happens, we need to have enough integrity to say, Reverend, I don't agree with y'all doing it this way. When y'all moving 2 o'clock, okay, because 5 we gonna do what we do. And we ended 4 o'clock and they do what they do. Or we join them or they join, however we gonna do it. We can at least communicate. And if it's something you don't agree with, I'm not in that, y'all got it, but I ain't gonna criticize it. Same way that we gotta have operational, if you don't believe Paul Ryan and Trump and them was on the same page, all that about the Republican, this and that. They all at the end of the day came with that tax bill. They all at the end of the day are trying to stop our organizations. When that man in Dallas shot them cops, they sued all of us. Obama, Eric Holder, NAN, Black Lives Matter, all of us on the lawsuit, because all of us money to defend a bogus charge. Hardy, we don't spend over $100,000 in legal bill. I don't even know that guy. But that's what they do. And they'll sue in every state just to break you because they know you got to pay for lawyers. And if you don't have a lawyer in that state, you got to pay a lawyer. And you think that these guys, these extortionists want money. You go into Virginia or Texas, they want 20 grand up front just to go file a piece of paper. But you got to defend it, otherwise you lose by default. So all of us need to have a reality check on this, and that's why we want this session. As well as I want y'all to buy some books and she going to Reverend. We run out, we're going to take a list and buy some more. But we want our book to be at the top of that list because we want folks to know they are not going to marginalize anybody that stands up for our people. Our tactics may be different, our orientation may be different, our religion or whatever, or non-religion may be different, but we are dealing with the same pain, same situation. When they shot this brother in Crown Heights when I got back from Sacramento, they didn't ask him whether you remember Black Lives Matter or National Action Network. They see black and they feel that we are going to tolerate them continue to do this. That's what they see. And that's what we've got to be able to understand. So I just wanted to make that statement before Mary Pat comes up. Mary Pat, 20 years old. I met her. She called me on the radio when she was 11, right? And I do calling show every day, 3 hours a day. And she said, Reverend Al, yes, I'm trying to fight violence where I live in Stone Mountain, Georgia. I said, really? I said, you sound very young. She says, I am. She always was very forward, cocky, with my mama. And I said, what's going on, Stone? She told me. And I said, well, what's the problem? She says, well, we need buses to get to our rally point. And I got a bunch of young folks. I said, you 11? She said, yep, I got kids as old as 13, like that was old. She was a voice on the radio. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll pay for the buses. You organize. So I called Dana, who runs our NAN office, said, we're going to do this for this young sister. They probably can't fill the bus, but it's the right thing to do. And we paid for the buses. She's packed 3 buses. Wow. Because we bought our company. I didn't know what I was in for, but, and she ended up coming in the organization, bringing a lot of young folks. And y'all saw the youth found they relate, they got college chapters. She grew up in this, like I did. And I remember growing up in breadbasket. Most of the ministers were 3 or 4 generations. Their daddy was a pastor, their granddaddy was a pastor. My father was none of that. I didn't come from their pedigree, I didn't have their background. So they would have a little boy preaching all that. So I know how it is to be marginalized, which is why I promised my mother and God, if I ever got in a position, I would give room to young folk to do it their way. My daughter, Ashley, and Dominique have huddle sessions on Monday night. The young folks. We ain't even allowed. I think I've been to one and had to sit in the back because we got to let every generation define for itself what they're going to do to continue to struggle. Some of the preachers who still sit around and talk about fax me stuff. They don't use fax machines no more. One of my mentors here yesterday, I won't call just his name. Still got a flip phone. That's the record. A smartphone. No one I'm sending you pictures and you can't see it. They don't come out on the flip phone. And I'm using that just as an example that we've got to understand the struggles about continuity from one generation up, and they will interpret for themselves. So we all on the same page with that. So I'm gonna bring Mary Pat, and Mary Pat gonna start the conversation. Now, let me say this. At the end of the conversation, there are books in the back. And we want y'all to buy the books, have open tree. Don't come up there saying, I ain't got a book, sign a piece of paper. She's a collectivist, I'm not. I'm telling y'all, you don't buy a book, don't get in line. Hello? If you say, well, I ain't got no money, you knew you was broke before you left home. You didn't discover that here. And we told y'all there's gonna be book signs. So be real clear now. She's nice and all that. She ain't say, I'm telling you, don't get online if you ain't buying a book. You shake her hand on the way to the line. But buy a book and support her. Like we did that show and Harry never mentioned a book. I did. Because you got to be able to quantify that you're not out here by yourself, because that's how they label you as terrorists and get away with it. They got to know there'll be a groundswell. Are we committed to that? Yes. Are we letting her know we got her back? And she ain't got to give up none of us. We need her identity, none of that. All right, Mary Pat.
All right, we're going to take a break right now. A live look on the Manhattan Bridge on the D train. on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. When we come back, we'll check on the latest weekend forecasts in New York and around the tri-state area. iPower 2 This Moment continues after the break. And as always, follow us on our official social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Keyword, iPower1 Nation.
Tired of the one-sided of cable networks? Tune in to Politics Nation with the Reverend Al Sharpton. No longer one-sided. Let's have an even playing field. Politics Nation with Al Sharpton. Weekends. Every Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern. Only on MSNBC.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right? Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Here's what's happening on iPower 1. iPower 1, One Nation Experience.
Bruce Avery, and here is your latest weekend forecast, and it's a pretty nice weekend forecast. Not perfect, but nice. Today, looking at the sky cover and the humidity, the wind speeds, and the temperatures, the morning fog is giving way to midday and afternoon sunshine, and the temperatures will be going up into at least the upper 50s. Most spots will be going into the low to mid 60s, and we don't expect to see any wet weather in here until this evening or overnight tonight. There were some showers overnight last night, and there will be again tonight, but in the afternoon, plenty of sunshine, and then clouds and a few sprinkles come back as the temperatures drop overnight tonight. And those showers and sprinkles and unsettled weather will continue through Sunday and through much of Monday as well. So enjoy this afternoon if you can. There are the projected high temperatures around the 5 boroughs and the tri-state area, warmer than it has been, winds out of the south at 5 to 10 miles an hour by this evening. And then tonight, wind shifting to the northwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour, chance of a passing shower or sprinkle, mostly cloudy. There are the projected low temperatures around the region, and the low temperatures tonight will be above normal. If you're heading for the waters, there is a small craft advisory for ocean swells. Water temperatures are still in the 40s, and visibility would be reduced in that morning fog and maybe a sprinkle in the afternoon, evening. Clouds and radar, you see breaks in the clouds over in the northeast, and then more thicker clouds to the west coming towards us, along with some showers. Much of the shower activity, heaviest part, will stay to the north of the city, but will be unsettled for tonight and for Sunday and Sunday night, and also all the way into Monday before it gets really nice for the middle of the week. Beautiful day today, this afternoon, 57 and 59 for highs on Sunday and Monday, and the Tuesday sunshine, high of 73, and check out Wednesday and Thursday, highs in the low 80s. This has been your latest.